So this sheet is available from AHDB, and this is how to record soil health. So this gives you all the various top tips of what we do when we're really trying to focus on getting a baseline for where soil health is. An important part is that we're trying to, when we go back, we want to sort of go back to nearly the same spot. So some people are using GPS or what 3 words to record where this sampling has taken place. So within this sheet we record the farm name, field name, dates, whereabouts we have, and that could be the what 3 words area. We're also collecting information about the current land use, what that topsoil character is, so is it light, medium or heavy soils. There's also an opportunity to record particular things about site, so it could be that we're seeing areas of compaction or capping, there's a slight slope to that soil, so we can record anything of note into that section and then give it an overall risk to soil movement, so how likely is soil to be lost from that, and that could be after a rainfall event or maybe wind. On the back of the sheet there's an opportunity to write down the scores. So when we do the visual examination of soil structure in fields, we're doing it in 3 sites. We record the score for each of those sites and we produce an average, remembering 1 is good, 5 is poor. We can also write down any observations we're seeing, so that could be in terms of rooting depth, it could be rhizosheath, or it could be clover nodulation as well. There's also an opportunity to write down the 3 earthworm counts and again produce an average, and if we are doing a different spade width to the suggested 20 centimetres, we just need to write that down as well, because we can then correct for the volume. We can write down any observations we're doing for earthworms. That could be there was a lot of juveniles or there was a lot of adults. We tended to have a mixture of the different types, so again it just is a note in terms of when we then go back to the same area, what we're seeing next time we go and look at that field. And then once we've got the soil test results, we can start to add in details from a soil organic matter percentage, the pH reading, extractable P, which is the milligrams per litre. We tend to convert that into index, but this is asking you for those numbers that generally are contained on the soil sample results. We can record any information we picked up when we were taking that sample. It could have been that it was drier than we would like, or that we, in terms of the area that we tried to sample, whether there was different soil types. And then step 5 on the sheet is to identify possible management options. That could be we need to re-monitor in 6 months because some of our scores for VES were slightly higher than we would like, or earthworm count was slightly lower than we would like, but it could be that the soil was quite dry. So it allows us to identify things that we've got to do for that field in the future. This is an example of a soil analysis report. So on here we've got 6 fields from the farm. So we can see the name, we can see what their cropping history is. We're going to focus really on North Park, which is permanent grassland. So we go across and we see soil pH, and that's sitting at 6.1. So in grassland soils we really want it to be between 6 and 6.5, so that's where it needs to be. You can see South Park is just slightly below 6, so it's not a great concern right now, but again probably needs will be checked at the next opportunity. We then go and look at P and K indices. So what's important when we look at the scorecard, they're wanting this milligrams per litre number. So a lot of the times it can be in a separate column or it could be next to it, but this is the number that needs to be recorded on that scorecard. And so these numbers are translated into an index. So for grassland soils we're looking for a P index of 2, a K index of 2 minus, and a MAG of 2, but anywhere between 2 and 5 are acceptable for grassland soils. This particular field has additional information, so this is via a different test. So this is a more detailed test. This is looking at organic carbon levels, and it's also looking at soil organic matter. So we can see that that field soil organic matter is sitting at 7.2, which is for a lowland, heavy type soil, is sort of just about where it needs to be. This provides you more details in terms of how much of that organic matter is carbon, so that's sitting at about 53%, and that's around average, and then takes you through all the different elements of that carbon. What's important, particularly when we're looking at the classification of soil, is it gives information in terms of the percentage of clay within that soil, and we're sitting at 27, which is just at the top end of medium, at the bottom end of heavy soils. And that's important when we think about the risks from a compaction perspective. And then further information for that field. So this again is a more detailed soil sample, and this is looking at plant available and total available supplies of various nutrients. So this goes further than the P and K. So when we were looking at the P and K on the original test, we were seeing that it was okay. We had index 2, but on this test we're actually seeing that it's lower than we would like, so that's worth some further investigation. But we can also see that it pulls out information on sulfur, calcium, magnesium, sodium, silica, iron, zinc, manganese, copper, cobalt, boron, molybdenum and selenium. It gives you a pH which is slightly different to the one we saw earlier, so again might need further investigation, and then gives more information in terms of the saturation and the different clay contents. So these tests are available. They are more expensive than the standard soil test, but potentially provides you more information. The key with any of these tests, if you're investing in tests, is to make sure that we do something with the results rather than paying it and then just collating them. So we really need to know what is the question for what these more detailed soil tests are trying to answer.